Yes, you must have heard that a terror group came out daring Trump that yes, there is genocide in Nigeria and that it's going to continue. Now, take a look at this headline. It says, "We will not stop buying Christians in Nigeria, Africa. ICC admits genocide. Dares Trump to intervene." Also, there have been recent attacks since Trump came out to say if Tinubu does not do the needful, he himself will come in to wipe out these guys. Guess what? They've gone on the killing spree, buying people anyhow. There were just videos and images circulating yesterday and day before yesterday how they invaded communities, Christian-dominated communities, and quite so many people daring Trump to, if he can do it, let him come, something like that. Now, take a look at this recent headline. This one here says, Armband is suspected to be members of Lukarawa group have reportedly launched a deadly attack on a camp belonging to officers of the Nigerian Custom Service in Maje, a community in Bagudu local government area of Kebbi State. Also, an Islamic group has come out calling Tinubu to sack the newly appointed INEC chairman because he once wrote a piece calling what is happening in Nigeria a genocide. And this is how this headline captured it. It says the Supreme Court of Sharia in Nigeria has urged President Tinubu to review the appointment of Professor Joash Ojo Amupitan as chairman of INEC following allegation that he once authored the divisive and anti-Muslim legal paper. So guys, you can see the dominance of Islam in Nigeria, the dominance of the Muslims. They are the ones that determine what happens in this country. So if you are waiting for the Islamization to happen, I tell you, it has already happened. They are the ones remote controlling anybody that enters Aso Rock. Now, take a look at this. This one is a latest one that has caused a whole lot of buzz. This is a current JAMB registrar representing an Islamic group in this post. He came out and granted like a press conference, and this is how this headline captured it. The Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs has dismissed allegation of Christian genocide in Nigeria, describing them as false, dangerous, and politically motivated. This is a well-learned professor, you know, and upon all the things that has been happening in Nigeria, all the things that have been happening in Nigeria, he's coming out to deny that there's no genocide. And like I told you from the beginning, you saw that ICC, the terror group, has admitted that there is Christian genocide and that is going to continue. But here is a professor trying to deny it. This is the same professor under his watch. Students from the southeast were massively failed. I mean, they failed them without any reason. If not that people began to raise alarm, they now had to retake the exam. So guys, now I'm beginning to connect the dots. So let me take you through some of the reactions coming from Nigerians after JAMB registrar, who is a professor, was seen denying Christian genocide in Nigeria. And this person here said, "I am ashamed of this professor. Did anyone accuse Muslims of killing Christians? The terrorists are the ones being accused here." And this other person here said, "When you set a bush on fire, you'll be amazed with what you see crawling out. This should be a starting point to discovering the sponsors of these terrorists. My advice is Trump should strike while the iron is hot and annihilate all terrorists irrespective of their religion." And this other person here said, "Sharia court, they dismiss claim of Christian genocide. Ask the charcoal if it stained the pot." And this other person here say, "Have you for once come out as a body and condemned the killing of innocent people in Nigeria before? But now that America wants to buy all your terrorist Muslim brothers, you are denying it. Check the numbers of the people attacked if they are not, and the region attacked are Christians, meaning check the number and the area, they are mostly Christians being attacked." And this person says, so how exactly did they get the data to boldly say there's no Christian genocide in Nigeria? Are they among the terrorist network carrying out this killing to speak with such confidence? Because they are not supposed to defend terrorists unless there's something else. So guys, this and more are reactions coming from Nigerians. And this other person here said, "Are these Muslim organizations supporting these terrorists killing Christians? What's the reason of all this? If they claim Muslims are also killed, why are they not supporting the people that want to end the killing on both sides, since our government has refused to? What's going on here?" So guys, it's really so worrisome that this registrar, which is also a professor, is the one coming out confidently saying there is no Christian genocide, with all the evidence that everybody, even Buhari during his term, admitted that there is Christian genocide. Like this person here reacted and said, even former President Buhari openly admitted that Boko Haram and allied groups specifically targeted Christians. For another to now deny this reality is not just deceit, it's moral corruption. When leaders trade honesty for convenience, trust is eroded and the blood of the innocent cries louder than any official denial. So guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at this video where an expert has come out to call out Tinubu, saying Tinubu knows what to do, but he's afraid because of 2027 that he should just dare these people and end this terrorism, even if it's going to cost him his political career, that posterity is going to remember him, history will be kind to him, and Nigerians will applaud him. Now take your time and watch this video to the end just for you to get the latest of the gist. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more updates. Now take a look.
There has been a contention between our military chiefs and some of the political appointees. Why the military chiefs have been saying that, look, let's take out this guy. You know, it was even in the press at the point that Bello Toji, they had him in their range, but they got our word to stand down. So as a strategic expert yourself, as a strategist in security matters, isn't it time to just, first of all, silence these people? What's your view?
Well, thank you for having me. I think that it's a pretty straightforward problem. What Donald Trump is saying is not that he's going to come and invade Nigeria tomorrow. He says that there are security problems in Nigeria that have the capacity to affect the other part of the world, and that the Nigerian government doesn't seem to be doing enough to address it over a long time. And he says, if you don't address these issues, we will come in and help you to address it. And that then takes me back to some of the problems that we have, which you brought on. The Office of the National Security Advisor seems to have taken this issue of non-kinetic or negotiation to a national security policy level. That now, instead of using the strong arm of government, you have a military, for goodness sake, because of times like this.
Right.
And the military are not known for negotiation. The military fight. That's why you hear of war college.
Yeah.
So the military fight, that's their responsibility to defend the territorial integrity of the country. And in defending the territorial integrity of a country, is not done through non-kinetic or negotiation. There is a level for non-kinetic, but there's also a level for kinetic. The kind of situation we have in Nigeria requires the strong arm of government. In a situation where some group of people not only kill people, they have shot down at least 2 military aircrafts. In Zamfara State, some years back, I can't put my finger on the actual year, they shot down these same people you call bandits. They shot down a fighter jet, a military fighter jet, during the government of Buhari. Under this government, in 2023, August, some bandits in the Kotagora area, that area in Niger State, yes, they ambushed specially trained. You know, there are some group of in the military that are special forces, right? They are specialty. Just you talk about Navy SEALs. Right. Nigeria had people that were trained as rangers. They were ambushed and killed. About 22 of them or so. Wow. And when an aircraft was sent to go and evacuate their bodies, that aircraft was also shot down by bandits, and the bandits went straight to the aircraft and killed those who were surviving there. Right. And when that happened, the Niger State governor was levied with rage. He came to Abuja to ask for the military support to crush those forces. Thereafter, he went to the villa, and he came out of the villa and granted a press statement in which he was saying that we will not use force, we will negotiate. And 3 days after that, the vice president also came out and said, this kind of activities is not going to be done by kinetic, we'll use non-kinetic means. And by the way, what do you mean by non-kinetic means? Non-kinetic...
After they shamed
the
entire nation.
The entire nation, they killed your military forces, they desecrated them, and you are talking of negotiation.
And they made a show of it.
They made a show of it. So when you are saying to me whether Nigeria should use a force or non-kinetic, non-kinetic actually means agriculture, employment generation. That government provides social services, that government provides infrastructure, that government provides employment. Those are non-kinetic. Non-kinetic does not mean negotiation. And in a situation where you have a country where there are military, you have bandits coming for meetings, and in those meetings there are soldiers, there are police and all that, and bandits come with very sophisticated military equipment to come and negotiate. It's like rubbing to your face that your country is gone. So the question, the point I want to make is the president needs the courage. You need to exert that courage, that he is the supreme commander. He's the commander-in-chief of the Nigeria Armed Forces. They are called armed forces not because they are negotiators.
Exactly.
Because if we want negotiators, then let's scrap the army and set up a negotiation
and
team.
we are spending everything. Over 12% of the current budget is for the security.
The military, Nigerian military, I know, are ready to do their job. But then there's the political component that have all other considerations. Ethnic, politics, and all sorts. They are bringing that on the table. And so the soldiers know what to do, but they are told, not move.
What you want to be.
So going back to the question you asked, globally, when you have a national crisis like this, you have the military in the front. And that's what Trump is saying. Either you use your own military. Trump is not saying they are going to come and negotiate. They say they are going to come and use the American strong arm. So you better use it.
Out.
Yes. So for me, I think that we should support the president across party line. Whether you are APC, PDP, or whatever, we must support this president. Whether we are Christian, Muslim, whatever, we must support this president to instruct his military to ensure that they take that step we need to deliver this country. Do you know why you are talking about negotiation or not? This insecurity thing is spreading. The last time we are aware of activities of terrorists, they've taken over most of Kwara State. They are in Ondo and Osun State. Edo North, Kogi State. We're in trouble. So we're not even talking about Zamfara now. We're not talking of Northwest or Northeast. We are talking about this thing creeping into the other part of the country. Lagos is not far away, or your state is not far away. And we are talking of negotiation. And what negotiation does is that instead of ensuring that you disrupt the operations of these criminals, you fertilize them. You give them enough room to recruit, to acquire more equipment and weapons, and spread to other parts of the country. Whereas you are supposed to take every step to disrupt the activities and degrade them.
Absolutely. Adamu, how do you come in on the question of negotiation? It seems that we have to really speak to Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, the NSA, to rethink this idea of negotiating. I know that his office has denied, paying ransom and all of that, but there is a very strong buzz in this town and across this country that those bandits are being treated with kid gloves. So what's your take?
You see, the problem is the factor of negotiation, or I can say the non-kinetic approach, has been on, I think, since 2016, with the former President Muhammadu Buhari, when he started in the Northeast after the decimated Boko Haram, some of the so-called repentant Boko Harams.
The
radicalization, some DDRRR policy, that's what they call it. So they started doing this kind of policy to see that they have accepted and then assimilated them into the society. So, but then we need to look at the dynamics. Is it really successful? Does it really deliver the right result? Now, in a case where you have irregular, unconventional warfare, non-kinetic approach is a part, but non-kinetic approach only comes to play when you diminish the terror to the level whereby the threats is not against the national security. But when you look at the direction and the empowerment that these terrorists are getting, as highlighted by Dr. David Okoro, we started from Northeast, we moved to North Central, Northwest, now we are moving to the South. Kwara is already, on the... So when you look at this, you see a full-scale insurgency. So when you have a full-scale insurgency, now you need to look at the underlying factor driving this insurgency. Yes, there are some social issues associated with this, but these social issues has been built over time. Now there are so many children that were young when this insurgency starts, and now they have grown so mature that the only thing they know is this killing. So how do you expect to conciliate these ones to accept a normal society when they grow in a society where it's only bombs that guarantee their safety? So what you do is you have to deploy a massive amount of forces to diminish them significantly, that it has gone to the point whereby it is not a threat to national security. As I'm talking to you now, we are even moving away from national security to regime security. And that's a very serious threat. So what we do is that we have to push back into the national security, diminish them from where they are. Then the small patches that remain, that are willingly express the need for true repentance and also wanting to really join the society, then you assimilate them. And even the assimilation is a whole lot of program. You can't assimilate someone in the society that radicalize him. Maybe you have to find another program where you show them to another place to, just disrupt their own chains. But as it is now, you keep conciliating them. We sometimes even blame the office of the National Security Advisor, but then you look at state governors too. There are so many state governors that came out and said that we call these bandits and we negotiate with them. You see a state governor sitting in the same place, or some state official sitting in the same place with the bandits carrying weapons in the name of negotiation. What are you negotiating with somebody who has guns and he is willing to come and kill you? So this is a very serious problem. And then you give them money in the name of trying to conciliate them. And these are the monies they use to get emboldened to come back and kill more. In a proverbial case where you have Vikings in the 10th century, where the kings of Wessex seems to partner with them, he keep giving them what they need, they get emboldened until they come and overrun the entire English kingdom. So this is exactly the situation we are facing now. So we need to really, really allow the military to do their job, since it has now become a full-scale insurgency. Okay, I want to put a question on the table for both of you as we conclude this conversation. There's a video that has gone viral, of Ajia Najatu Muhammad,
who said that he had a conversation with the president, and the president said that, well, I don't have a plan for the North problem, because, you know, they may even kill me. Now, that insinuates, we've not had a response from the villa. I don't know whether it's necessary, you know, but that insinuates that the president is afraid. How do you read the body language of this president when it comes to courage, you know, and how much of it have we seen in the way that is handling this matter, or how much of it should we see? You know, let's start with...
I think that video was not the recent video.
Yeah, but it's just...
video. I've seen it before. But let me say this. 2023, a day before the president was sworn in, I was invited to a big a network, a national TV like this, and asked to set a security agenda for the president. My concern was that because the security situation in the East can be handled, the one in the South is being handled. Can it be handled? Southwest, yeah, not much is happening there, but the North is an entrenched insecurity economy, where you have a crime economy that is entrenched. It's a whole economy, and it has backers. It has strong people. There are people that fund the insecurity in the North. There are people that supports it. There are people that fertilize it. There are people that benefit from it. So when you want to fight that, I was asking, does the president have the courage? Will he be able to muster the courage to confront this? And particularly at a time when we are moving close to an election. I'm not even talking about killing the president. That should be an issue because he's well protected with all the resources of the nation. But the political consequence, is he ready to face it? But just to say whether he likes it or not, where we are now, with the threat of America, he has no other excuse or have no escape but to do what is needful. And that's why I said, as a nation, as a people, we then need to support him to do what he needs to do. Now, as a commander-in-chief, we are in war. He needs to move his men, and he needs the support of everybody to be able to do that. So I want to posit that what is required is for the support of the people. The president shouldn't be afraid, because posterity will remember him for this moment. He is the supreme commander.
Last word, Adamu Gaba, quickly.
One good thing again is that our military have very good experience of fighting in the Sahel, more than the US military. That is why when they came to Liberia, they couldn't do it. They have to invite Nigerian military to help them. Similarly, in Sierra Leone, they have to invite Nigerian military to help them. So Nigerian military is actually very efficient in fighting, but then we need tactical and intelligence support so that we can deal.
But do you think the president has enough courage?
Yes, I think the president have enough.
Do they have an option? But before you go off, I just want to say that the Nigerian military know what to do. Give them the responsibility, give them a free hand. They will do it. We don't need Americans to come and help us.
Exactly.
Nigerians can protect and defend Nigerians. So the president should take responsibility and give the instruction, and it to be done.
Thank you so much. And I agree that I will be surprised if this man is not courageous. You know, whatever you say about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I think you cannot take away his courage. And Mr. President, you know, the time has come for you to show us that you're indeed a man of courage. And like Dr. Okoro said, there's no option on the table.
No,
What do you think the president should do going forward? You have a situation where this matter of the killings in the country has become a global concern. The man that has the biggest microphone in the world, Mr. Donald Trump, has spoken about it. What should the president do?
Thank you for asking this question. I think from my own perspective is that we have to really look at our internal assets properly and reorganize ourselves. First and foremost, by stop denying the obvious. Because the issue of genocide has been established by the US. If Nigeria refused to do so, they have done their fact-finding and have established. In fact, just yesterday, a resolution was passed in the Congress that they condemn what Nigeria is doing. And at the same time, they also supported what Donald Trump has done for designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. So in this case, we have a responsibility to organize ourselves, accept these our weaknesses, accept also the weaknesses that is happening within our intelligence and security architecture, and then work jointly, responsibly with the United States government to see that we take ownership of the issue and then take the driver's seat to fix the problem. But the situation whereby we kept denying the obvious, it is only going to exacerbate the situation that may go beyond our control. And if you check, we have international assets. Like even within the government, we have one big boy opinion that we don't amplify. And that's that of the Senate President. The Senate President was vehemently against the situation. If you notice, he was consistently saying we don't want to infuriate Donald Trump further.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
And his deputy said, "What do you mean?"
So look at the deputy. The response of the deputy was reckless. You can't have America on your tail. Nobody wants America as an enemy. Even the superpowers like the China and the Russia, they don't want America as an enemy. So we don't need to attract the wrath of the superpower. So what we need to do is to conciliate them. We avoid this confrontational approach by leveraging on collaborative approach to see that we bring the end of this issue.
Dr. David, you are a security strategist, and I wanted to pose to you a strategic question, in your opening comments, if you can accommodate it. To what extent do you think we need to use the kinetic approach to just go ahead and destroy these people? We have inside information that...
I for one, didn't want a situation whereby it became necessary that it had to take a American president to have to, make his voice heard on this matter. But be that as it may, it has now been done. I, for one, come from a community that has been ravaged time and time again. We have seen too many killings.
That's in Plateau State?
Yes, in Plateau State. I'm from Kwal Village of Bassa local government in Plateau State. That is the Irigwe community particularly. And we have seen more deaths than we should have wanted. People who grew up it's a very agrarian community. People farm on a regular basis, do contribute a very large cache of crops. Miango pepper was coming from there, and a lot of other things. But where are we now? They have practically disappeared. Almost every rainy season, you're almost sure that if you plant and your plants grow, you are never sure that you're going to harvest them, because you're going to one or two things is going to happen. Either the place is so insecure, the area is so insecure because you're going to have gunmen that are going to show up and shoot you or kidnap you, or people are going to graze into your farm or into your farmland. That has become a fact.
That's what standard.
It has become standard. So where we are today now, I would like to call on all and sundry and all stakeholders, including the government, that where this communication has come from America, it should largely be about, can we collaborate to try and make sure that where we seem to be deficient, because there's obviously a deficiency somewhere.
Right.
You cannot be talking about the same thing year in, year out, and all that you do is to add to the tally of those who have been dead or those who have been injured. I just called from the community just this morning. He said, and I'm asking about the latest tally in the community, and he said, please give me till this evening, because I need to add to the number of individuals, because in recent times, of course, there has also been killings. So that has been the situation down the line. I want to see a situation whereby the help, because I see it as some form of an assistance as well that can be rendered by the United States. The question is, have people been killed in their beds, in their room? Have children been massacred? Have women been killed, throats slitted in this country? Yes. Has it been far too much than it needs to be? Yes.
Even one death is bad enough. Let's take it on to Honorable Stephen Osemwegwe. We've just had, introductory comments by Mr. Jugo, who represents a lot of the communities that have been victimized, especially in Plateau State. We have a similar situation in Benue and several other parts in the country, northeast, northwest, different dimensions. Now, you, Honorable Stephen, you are the president of Save Nigeria Group, and I understand that you guys also played a very important role. And on the 1st of December next month, there's going to be a rally in front of White House. Tell us what you guys have been doing before Mr. Trump intervened, and what is going to happen after his intervention. Quickly, as your opening comments.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. What has happened with our organization is that we trying to help Nigerians at home, because our focus is on the welfare of Nigerians in America and also at home. And we do send aid and try to help. And most of the people, particularly in the Middle Belt region, which is in Benue, in Plateau, and Southern Kaduna, we've been getting reports over the years documenting. It was until recently we started to find out that this issue is not going to abate. And when I got a call recently, when Bill Maher raised the issue again, someone asked me, you guys have saved Nigeria Group USA. Why are you guys not speaking for the victims of this thing? Is Ted Cruz, is Bill Maher lying? So I spoke with my board of directors and said, hey, maybe we should look for organizations that can assemble to show for those who cannot be in the United States that Ted Cruz, you are not lying. This is true because we have our own information. So the idea of this rally coming up on December 1st is to show to the United States government and those in America who have never visited Nigeria that, hey, we Nigerians are witnesses of the Christian genocide that is going on. The targeted killing of Christians, particularly in the frontline states of Plateau, Benue, is not random. It's not climate change. Ted Cruz, you are not wrong. Riley Moore, you are not wrong. In fact, thank you, Donald Trump, because these killings did not start under this current government. So it's not even political, in my opinion. It has been age-long. The only problem is black people's sufferings is minimized by the global media. This is the first time we have a president in the White House that is interested in actually saving the lives of Nigerians. And he has said something very clearly, that he gives the Nigerian government opportunity to kill the terrorist that is committing the massacre. And therefore, if I were to advise the Nigerian government, I would say, you should be grateful. For the first time, the United States with their might is willing to help you end what you clearly cannot help. We all know, like my brother just mentioned, about the tally. Do you know that the day that Trump designated Nigeria a CPC state, there were attacks in Nigeria, in this place, in Benue, in Plateau. As a matter of fact, 2 days ago in Benue, there was a large massacre again, even after the CPC. Guess what? What people like Daniel Bwala and the APC government of Nigeria do not know is that the US government have more information than them. They are getting real-time information of the killings, and people like Daniel Bwala is here in America to tell them nothing to see and nothing is happening. You know what they think when they watch Daniel Bwala and the rest of them lying? They want to put their hair out, because to an American, when you are telling him a lie and he knows the truth, it's an insult. So Daniel Bwala and those parading that there's nothing to see here, when 19,100 churches have been burned since 2009, when more than 100,000 people have been killed, what about the IDPs that are in northern Cameroon, in Niger, scattered around in Nigeria, even in my home state of Edo, we have IDP people from Borno. They've been there since 2011. They've not gone home. And somebody is coming to tell the US, who has more information than them, that there's nothing to see here. If there's nothing to see here, why do we have IDP camps? If there's nothing to see here, why do we have these mass graves? And Professor Ezekiel Dakambo's video has gone global, more than 2 billion views. Everybody in the world knows the genocide of Christians is not random, it's not farmer header class, it's Boko Haram and Fulani militia that are killing people. And everybody that we get on the ground tell us that these people are terrorists. They're not farmers. They're not headers, sorry. They don't have cattle with them. They have AK-47 RPGs. So our government has a short window to deal decisively with terrorists, instead of allowing people like Segumi to whitewash terrorists. You know what that means? Is the other day I heard you on your program, not this program, but online, that they are reasonable, that we should negotiate. Well, America does not negotiate with terrorists. A serious country does not negotiate with terrorists. Nigeria should either arrest and try them and jail them, or those ones that refuse to lay down their arm should be eliminated, because they are killing Nigerians. And the whole duty of the government of any country is the security of life and property. So if people say there is no Christian genocide, for example, okay, can you stop the genocide that you call it? If it's not Christian genocide, why should there be genocide in Nigeria at all? It says Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed. Let nobody be killed. Stop the killing already, or Trump is saying, I will do it for you. He's not invading Nigeria. This lie is a propaganda. He said he was coming after terrorists. Unless you are a terrorist, you should have no problem with such help. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stephen Osemwegwe, who, by the way, is an active Nigerian who is abroad, but very connected to what is going on. He ran as an aspirant for the gubernatorial election in Edo State, I believe, in 2023. So Honorable Stephen does know what is happening in Nigeria. I want to take it to Professor Nimi Wariboko now. Now, a bit of context. Professor Nimi Wariboko, who is a professor of social ethics in Boston University, was one of the board members of the Christian Association of Nigerian Americans, who in 2012 persuaded the U.S. government to designate Boko Haram as a foreign terrorist organization. And so he also has quite a bit of background of how long this has been going on the attitude of the American government. And of course, we're going to ask him to fill us in with his own take regarding what Mr. Trump has done. And so, Prof, how do you read the intervention of Mr. Donald Trump on this question of the killings in Nigeria?
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. So my two other panelists have already given us their take, and frankly, they are very comprehensive. But I want to step back and provide a different perspective. Not that I'm against them. I support the analysis, because I'm looking at the internal debate in Nigeria, especially from the government side. And the key part of their debate is that there is killings, and that it is not directed to Christians alone. But for me, the more they say something like that, it tells us, I want to focus on sovereignty, right? And I've written about this, what I call fractured sovereignty or fatigue sovereignty, right? For a government that says he has a sovereign control over the territory that cannot prevent the death of his citizens, then what is the value of that citizen? To argue that, oh, they also kill Muslims. We're not minimizing that. Oh, those who kill them. One is too many, whether they are Christians or they are Muslims. For a government to make that kind of argument is really surprising, that you are not protecting your own citizens, and the excuse you are giving is that, oh, these killers are killing everybody. There is no discrimination. While the fundamental question is that, why should you cede your sovereignty to a terrorist group to be killing, whether they're worshippers of Ogu or they're Christians or Muslims? And the defense you are giving is that, fine, they could go ahead with the killing as long as it's not directed against any particular group. That in itself means that our sovereignty has been lost. But it also shows that the government is not interested in the economic growth and development of Nigeria, because no serious government will allow this kind of killings and what is happening to continue, because it affects the economic growth and development. Like the first speakers said, people cannot go to the farm and do their work. So if you are really interested in ruling Nigeria, the issue of bringing security under control, insecurity under control, is part of your economic policy. So you don't understand, what are they really doing in that country? And the third point is that these killings, whether you interpret it as Islamic or not, or whatever you do, they pose existential threat to the survival of Nigeria. And if you believe in the sovereignty of Nigeria as the president or governor or so, it should be stopped. So this goes to the fundamental issue of, do we have sovereignty over our country? The people we put there, do they care about that? But also, it goes to another point that right from the colonial time to the now, our sovereignty have always been located outside our territory, because it's either controlled by the World Bank and the IMF, or by the centers in London, Paris, or DC. So we've ceded by our borrowings massively from these people, by being indebted to them in a certain way. We've ceded that position. So if you look at it from that point of view, Trump intervening is along this trajectory of the fact that our leaders have never taken our sovereignty seriously, so that others have to come in. If we did not mess up in this way, at least there will be no obvious excuse for Trump to do whatever he do. So the government needs to seriously consider, do we have sovereignty as a nation? And because if you look at the earlier three I've mentioned, security, economic, existential, when you don't care about all those things, then other people are going to step in. Because what they've not realized, that what is happening in Nigeria, if it blows up and affects other countries in the region, it's going to be a global issue. And so people have interest for stepping in to do that. Because we have failed to keep our house in order, others are now coming in to intervene, to advise, or to insult. But we should look into ourselves and ask this critical question. Yes, a time like this, we are calling people to rally around the flag. But we must also ask ourselves hard question. this issue has been there for some of us for 12, 13 years. We've been talking to government. We've been that do this issue. It even took the Nigerian government a long time to declare Boko Haram a terrorist group. And as you said, we went and lobbied Boko Haram. Then at that time they were killing people in the northeast more. And it has not become so much of a Christian thing. But we felt as Nigerians, whether you are killing Muslims or you're killing Christians, we care about the life of every Nigerian. And that's why we fought globally for Boko Haram to be recognized as a terrorist group, not just clashes or ethnic differences, but as a terrorist group, right? So, but our government has refused to take that stand to protect the lives of every Nigerian, whether they are Christians or they are more Muslims.
Okay, thank you, Prof. And I'm going to come right back to you, but I want to ask Mr. Reverend Jugo, who is here, to give me, if you can, what is the reaction of people whose families have been affected, who have lost loved ones, whose communities have been devastated economically, who are the receiving end of whatever name we call what is happening. Do you have any insight? How are they responding, receiving the news and information that the U.S. president says that, look, you guys got to fix this or I'll help you? What's their response?
I want you to understand where these communities are coming from. They are in a place where there is a man who is in the farm right now as we speak that is going to go home tired in the evening, and he is not sure whether he's going to leave to see the next day, talk less of harvesting the crops that he has in the farm. So he has seen his relatives, his uncles, his aunties die time and time again over the last couple of years. Now, all he prays for, because he obviously, since he's still in the village, it means he has nowhere else to go. A lot of his relatives have left the village, left either Kwal or Miango or Jebu Miango, or inside the village somewhere in Riom local government or in Bokos. Some of them have left and gone to the township because they believe that that is the only place they can get help. But some of these individuals, they are still in those villages and do not know what their fate is. I assure you that when you cast your mind into where he is, where the help comes from is of no concern to him. The issue of sovereignty, as we are having the conversations now, is even largely academic. But where he is concerned is if he can get a savior, someone who can save him and his 3-year-old daughter who wants to become a doctor when she grows up. That is all he cares about. If this help is going to come from anywhere, any country, any individual, I assure you that it is the least of his worries. All he wants is to be able to have somebody who is going to step in and be able to say to him that you can live for another, or you can live to your ripe old age, and no bullet, no machete is going to cut through you or any of your family members, and you're going to live a wholesome life. That is all that he cares. So as I speak to you right now, I am sad because that glory ordinarily should have been taken by this government in all its ramifications. But I say once again that we should look at this as a method to be able to reach out and have conversations across board. Because the whole concept of diplomacy, whether it is security diplomacy or economic diplomacy across board, and as it has been expounded by the UN Charter and all other charters that are succeeding and are reflective of our international disposition, should largely be about how can we help each other to ensure that the sovereignty that you say that you have by virtue of your independence and all of that is safeguarded. I don't think it is a problem when somebody is trying to break into your compound and to rape and maim people in your compound. If you need help, please say something. And that is where we are. Now we're saying that if your neighbor has noticed that there is a lot of shout and commotion in your compound and has come out and wants to help you, we should not say we have it under control when we do not.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Thank you so much for that important insight. And I like the analogy of a neighbor who sees that there is turmoil, is he supposed to keep quiet? Let me take it to Honorable Stephen as we begin to wrap up, and then Prof, we have the last word. Honorable Stephen Osemwegwe. So I want you to tell me, you are based in the United States, what is the conversation like among the Nigerian community about what is happening? What are Nigerians in the USA, in their different communities with their diversities, by your own judgment, how are they responding to what is likely going to be some kind of intervention, which I think is some kind of help from the US government to Nigeria in dealing with this condition?
Thank you very much for that question, Olaolu. As you can guess, there is a lot of concern in the Nigerian American community here in America. There is a split in the community. Some are very skeptical because of the US history of making mistakes elsewhere abroad. Some have the lens of not liking the current president, so why is it him? I need help, but why him? So there's that among us. But we, as a Save Nigeria Group USA, we are non-political. So we try to appeal to every organization. Look, our people are dying. If we do nothing, more will die. So we must do something. And we should find ways to appeal to the Nigerian government to take this warning seriously. Trump is not Obama. Trump is not Joe Biden. He means what he says. And here, as a feedback to you, the American Christian community are more concerned than what you think. People are reporting to me that on Sundays in a church that is all white Americans, they are publishing videos of mass graves. Bokos. They're not Bokos. They're not Benway. They are Americans are laser focused. I'm not telling you politicians, ordinary Americans, particularly those in the Midwest and those who believe in religious freedom. They are now seeing videos of beheadings. They are seeing videos of Boko Haram and some terrorist Fulani militia having negotiations, peace meeting with government, talking on the microphone with guns. And they're like, are these same people killing people and talking with government? So I fear that what is happening in the split in the Nigerian-American community is because we really would prefer Nigeria solve our problem. We don't have, as a Nigerian, I'm very proud of our country. It is better our government does the job. But now our government has proven that it's either unwilling or unable. We should be grateful that the United States is even going to help us. Then lastly, I want to correct an information. Because of Trump's action to designate Nigeria, we have moved our rally from the White House to the Capitol Hill. Because right now, there's a bill in Congress by Senator Ted Cruz and other Senate, House members on this issue. Trump has already moved ahead of us. So we appreciate him, but we are going to the Capitol Hill on December 1st. So those in America should join us at 11 a.m. on December 1st at the Capitol Hill steps. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Stephen. And finally, we're going to take the last word from Professor Wariboko. And Prof, just before you respond, I wanted to say something to back up what Honorable Stephen has said about the fact that a lot of Americans have seen all the videos. I remember one of the videos that we put out in 2012 about, Boko Haram slaughtering a lot of Christians in the north. We brought out videos of some victims. The last time I checked, that video has 700,000 views. So clearly, this is not a time when anybody can becloud the judgment of anybody anywhere in the world about what is happening. But I'd like to ask you, as we conclude, Professor Wariboko, what do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should do? I remember that in 2014, you were part of the campaign for the Buhari election in 2014, and you had worked closely with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You were holding meetings with him. So if you were to see him today, or you wanted to give him an advice, what do you think he should do going forward with the offer of the Americans?
Yes, it should take what President Trump has said very seriously. I mean, this is all the public relations stuff they are doing doesn't cut it. It should take what the president has said, because what is driving the president is not just what Donald Trump wants. He has the big backing of the evangelicals on this issue. And President Trump, whether for his political reason or for humanitarian reason or so, is not going to back down because of the support he has. So he should take it seriously, go to a negotiation and say, what can we do? Let him show that he has muscle to do something. All these arguments they're making, it doesn't cut it. Like, let them begin to show within the next 50 days, 3 weeks, let them show, because since even President Trump made that announcement, killings are still going on in Nigeria. So the government have not come to grapple with the issue. That is it, tough to do. Nigeria has the resources as it is now to defeat the terrorists if they really want to. But there is no will to do that. So President Tinubu should show that determination, that he's the president of every Nigerian and every territory, and is not ceding the control of any part of the country to some terrorists. He should stand up and act, and people would know, and then even those in America or everywhere in the world will know. This idea that they think that if he attacks, some other country is going to come into the defense. It's not going to happen. By the way, it's not an attack on the country itself, but to take the terrorists out. If they're in Sabisa forest, why can't Nigeria government go and flush them out or whatever they are? So my issue is that take the threat seriously, reorganize your house, engage with the terrorists seriously to flush them out, and then Nigerians will see that you are making progress. But to just sit down and make it a public relation stuff, meanwhile there is nothing on the ground to show any progress, is the wrong way to go.
Say moto black wọ́n ti gbé wọnú wọ́dà inú gbó ni wọ́n jáde láti inú gbó ìwà ni sẹ́ wọ́n ti fẹ́ escape o. Fulani herdsmen. See? Just now, Fulani herdsmen. Yeah, this is Lagos Benin or expressway. Just now, see them. Nice side this bush they enter. Can you go in lower?
Cherry, our other teacher, she go and jump. Ciao,
yeah.
Ciao, Fulani.
Wọ́n ti mú màkàn lọ. Wọ́n ti mú lọ. Wọ́n ti mú wọnú. Mò ń wò wọ́n báyìí. Wọ́n mú wọnú títì.
Daddy be that?
Yes. Yes, so that be.
Oh yeah, found that call. What do you move?
Come down, ban motor.
Fulani Oshun, Fulani Ekiti, Fulani Sokoto, Fulani Katsina, Fulani Kaduna, Fulani Plateau, Fulani Benue, Fulani Taraba. Are you the only tribes in Nigeria? You are not the only tribe. There is nothing like profiling of a people. I'm a Fulani man. I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren. And we just have to speak the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. As long as we continue to glouse over the truth, we will never get the answer. And I want to say this to our security men: until justice is done, there will never be a solution. If you get a Fulani man that is a killer, deal with him as a killer. If you get a bureau man that is a killer, deal with him as a killer, and this will come to an end. But you don't give certain people advantage over other tribes. I respect the people that have hosted me, even though I am an indigene of Plateau State, because I was born here. My children are grown up. I have 8 grandchildren. But yet we respect the people we met on ground. In Maiduguri, my hometown, the people that come to meet us respect us. When the Boko Haram thing started in Maiduguri, It was us, the indigenes, the people, the Kanuris, who came together and said, this thing is among us. And then we started getting on, and then we raised the civilian JTF. That was how Boko Haram was dealt with. Kanuri man will bring his own children and said, Gashina ina chikin Boko Haram. And that was how we dealt with it. Mayati Allah Association, 80% of the responsibility of the genocide is on you. You have the 80% answer. Because if today Mayati Allah says this genocide will stop, it's not herders and farmers clashes. Intentional genocide, terrorism, and that must stop. It must stop. I'm not happy to move as a Fulani man and my tribe is being profiled. My children, when they travel out and Fulani, here Fulani, there Fulani, I am a proud Fulani man. I am a proud Kanuri man. It's just like when Boko Haram started. We're not proud of it. Why should it be from Borno State? But then we decided to fight it. I am here to say, Nigeria, we are not honest to ourselves.
Guys, let me take you through some of the reactions coming from the JAMB registrar who has come out to represent a Nigerian Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs. Let me show you how Nigerians are reacting to him coming to deny, professor for that matter, coming to deny the genocide that everybody can see with his or her glary eyes. This person said the genocide against Christians in Nigeria, setting the record straight, the genocide against Christians in Nigeria did not begin with Boko Haram, ISWAP, or recent Fulani jihadist attack. It started long before these groups ever existed. For decades, radical Islamic mobs in northern Nigeria have been killing Christians and burning churches over the most senseless and unjustifiable reason. This person here says thousands of Christians were killed and entire community destroyed because Christian crusade and evangelism campaigns such as in Kanu, Kaduna, and Zaria in the 1980s and 1990s. The Miss World beauty pageant controversy in Kaduna 2002, where over 200 Christians were killed after riots sparked by newspaper article. The Danish Mohammed cartoon 2006, which led to the mob buying Christians and burning churches, even though the false cartoon were made in faraway Europe. Hey God. False accusation of blasphemy such as the 1987 and 1991 killing in Kafanchan and Bauchi, and many more recent examples like Deborah Samuel lynching in Sokoto, and it means that this has really gone for a decade. Sharia riots 1999 to 20 in places like Kaduna, where thousands of Christians were massacred when some northern states declared Sharia law. When thousands of Christians were killed in the north because Buhari lost election, was that the doing of Boko Haram? Did Boko Haram or Fulani jihadists kill Deborah? No, it's her fellow student jihadists. And then this person here went ahead to say, no, so nobody should deceive Nigerians into thinking this genocide began because of Boko Haram and Fulani terrorists. It's been a long systemic campaign of religious hatred and violence against Christians carried out under different names and excuses, but driven by the same radical ideology. Get your facts right. Tweet, retweet, and share. I think this makes a lot of sense. Okay, let me see how Nigerians are reacting to this guy who wrote this piece. I think this piece made a lot of sense. This person says, thanks for all the references above. It's clear that all the attacks mentioned above are retaliation to the insult, blasphemy, attacks of Muslim faith, right? What's so hard and difficult to adhere to? Leave people's business and religion alone for peace, period. Okay, that's what this person is saying. It's not hard to spot terrorists. These are always fighting for a God that does not exist, but bunch of demented, brainwashed, indoctrinated slaves. It's not hard to spot terrorists. They are always fighting for a God that does not exist. And this person say, I think it's high time Christians defend themselves by all means. You can imagine, even things that happened in Europe, they use it to buy people in Nigeria. I think it's high time Christians defend themselves by any means possible. We will see, we will see that this bullshit will come to an end. If Israel hasn't attacked Gaza after the ban of Israelis having parties, they would have thought that they have a monopoly of madness. And I think this is just it, honestly. You know, people have been saying that if Israel did not move the way they moved, this Hamas would have dealt with Israel. But guess what? Netanyahu is not playing. He said he is going to end them. Even though there's a peace agreement now, Netanyahu is still not satisfied with the much Israel has done. You know, he said he's going back to the battlefield until these people are decimated because they are being sponsored. Now, this person, how do you know that don't be a parasite if you want to see what's happening with Nigerian people? How did you know that don't be a parasite? Have come here and see who is under attack. Please retweet and share this. Don't just like it. Kashami. And this person say, well stated. How can someone be fighting for the gods? Let the gods prove themselves. This person say, somehow, however, it has to stop, and it will stop on a group someday and somehow. Nothing but the truth. So these are some of the reactions to this tweet, and I think the tweet makes a lot of sense. You know, it makes a lot of sense from Nigerians. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Anyway, I'm going to be reading more reactions from Nigerians as regards to, oh, I just missed it now, as regards to this. Let me go back to that tweet. Yeah. So many Nigerians have been reacting, especially as regards to this man who is a professor. This person is a terrorist who marks during Jonathan tenure. But today they no longer attend. They not only attend peace day face open. They attend fully armed and return to base unarmed. APC terrorists pampering government. And this person say this person say, even former President Buhari openly admitted that Boko Haram and allied groups specifically targeted Christians. For another to now deny this reality is just deceit. It's moral corruption when leaders treat honesty for convenience. Trust is eroded, and the blood of the innocent cries louder than any other official denial. So Nigerians are saying even Buhari admitted to what is happening, you know. So we don't even know why these people are coming out to say that it didn't happen. This means terrorism affects everyone in Nigeria. Citizens are being bad. Children are taken away. Towns are being destroyed. It happened in Sokoto, Zamfara, Kaduna, Jos, Maiduguri, Benue, and many places in Nigeria. The picture below shows the reality. This person is saying that it happens everywhere. This is the only picture the North has to show, you know, but they've not shown. We don't even want to go into Benue State when Tom was the governor. Tom has been silent. Now, yes, APC is in power. Let them take care of the situation. Are these Muslim organizations supporting these terrorists killing Nigerians? What's the reason for all this? If they claim Muslims are also killed, why are they not supporting the people that want to end killing on both sides, since our government has refused to do? What's going on? What's going on, Nigerians? And this other person here said, what about facing Nigeria is insecurity is affecting both Muslim and Christian. Anyone saying otherwise is an enemy of the country. Jokers. When America fireworks start into terrorist enclaves around country and in the forest, those speaking strange languages who speak true. The time is so near because America will truly and obviously come gun ablazing. Tinubu is already a frightened president. Tinubu is already a frightened president. How exactly did you get the data to boldly say there's no genocide, there's no Christian genocide? Are they among the terrorist network carrying out these killings to speak with such confidence? Because they are not supposed to defend terrorists unless there's something else, honestly, unless they have something in common. Now, this other person here said, were you expecting them to agree before? The people quiet at okay. They were mostly Muslim, but they kept quiet. They can keep quiet when their Muslim brothers and sisters are killed. Doesn't mean the Christians will do the same. So I don't know. These are some of the reactions. This person at the craze. Have you for once come out as a body and condemn killing of innocent people in Nigeria before now that America wants to kill your terrorist Muslim brothers and you are denying it? Check the number of people died if they are not and the region attacked are not Christians. These are some of the reactions from Nigerians, and this person said it's very pathetic seeing a Christian fellow claiming genocide attacks against them in this country where Muslims are being kidnapped, and to think that US is coming for there is the worst thing that I will ever believe. We will join hands to fight against the terrorists. This person said Sharia court they dismiss Christian genocide. Ask the charcoal if it stained the pot. Ask the charcoal if it stained the pot. When you see a bush on fire, you will be amazed with what you see crawling out. This should be a starting point of discovering the sponsors of the terrorists. My advice to Trump should strike while the iron is hot and annihilate all terrorists irrespective of their religion.